right, Todd, how are you?
Man, I'm happy to be home.
I'm sure you are.
I got a
Now,
phone. I got a phone again.
is that so weird to be disconnected from everything while you're in the
I,
house?
I think that is the most difficult situation to be. I think plus where we are technically wise, and me,
Yeah.
I build computers, so technically I'm always, building things and creating things, digitally, and for me to get away from all of it was really tough. It was very tough on me.
And now, watching the show, there seemed to be quite a few players that maybe didn't really understand the game going into it.
Oh yeah.
And, but while you played, you kind of laid low at the beginning, you really did become a threat towards the end.
Oh
Was
yeah.
that because of the learning curve, or was that strategy, or a
Oh
little
no,
bit of both?
that was total strategy. When I went in there, I knew that's the best way to move past and get rid of all the riffraff, basically, to get people out the way, so that you can move forward in the game. What I didn't see in time was how mean Todrick really was. How, he was very. When I got to rewatch everything over, he was mean, man. Things that he said about me and about other people. Then I realized everything he said about Shannon was not true. I watched everything and realized that Shannon didn't do all what he said. He made things out to be a lot worse than it really was. He convinced me, convinced Carson, he convinced Carson to get rid of Shayna. That was an ally for Carson. He convinced, him to do that, and convinced me, to put Carson on the block, and get rid of him, So I realized at that point that that Todrick is playing a different kind of game. He's playing Big Brother, but he's playing a very mean and evil Big Brother. And I'm not just saying that. Everyone on all these websites is saying the same thing.
No, I'm just curious. Even I was going to say, from the other exit interviews we've done, jury management has obviously been a big issue for him, I think.
Yes, and I don't think he realizes that. But jury management is going to be terrible for him, And go ahead.
I was going to say, I think obviously this is a little different than regular Big Brother, where you don't really see everything. But you guys are able to.
Yes, we're able to watch and see who he really is, So he's going to be in a lot of trouble when it comes to the jury. That's for sure.
I was going to say, even during your exit interview with Julie last night, you kind of mentioned that you couldn't play the game the same way. So it seemed like you had some sort of inkling maybe as to what was going on.
Well, because I figured it out after, but I figured it out about 3 days too late. 4 days too late, I figured it out. It was, I couldn't figure it out. So 1 second. Yoko, wait, you gotta wait. Talking to my dog, go ahead. So
all good.
Yeah, I figured out way too late, who he really was. But I kind of knew, because he was at one point when I really started figuring out, when he tried to tell me what being on television and Nielsen ratings was about. He's telling me what TV and Nielsen ratings about. I'm like, really? And I'm sitting there going,
been there a lot.
I'm like, wow, man, okay, wow, and I realized that this guy talks, out of his butt. He doesn't know everything what he's saying. He just likes to talk, and make things up, and he's all these wonderful stories, and they all seem great and wonderful because it seems like you know what he's talking about. But then when I get out and start seeing that everything's a lie and none of it's true, and he's not the great person that he pursues himself, makes himself out to be. He's got Miesha believing that, Miesha is the greatest guy. But when Miesha gets out and finds out what he said about her and what he's saying, about other people, she's gonna actually see him for who he really is. And I hope at that point she realizes doesn't matter the way to play the game, she made a huge mistake. To me, I don't care how much money you're making. It's still about integrity, And I'm about integrity. I play the game with integrity. I didn't play the game with people in mean. So
I was gonna say, at the end, if it does come down to Miesha, Todrick versus Cynthia, because they're the final three, do you go with someone who has been actively playing the game, or someone who really doesn't understand it that much? It's hard.
Yeah. But if Cynthia got there, I think she would get all of our votes.
Yeah,
I think Cynthia would get all of our votes.
All right, but
so that's what I think. I think that the other two that have been playing it, they're playing it viciously, and I don't think any of us didn't want that. Carson don't want to play that way, and neither did I.
Yeah, and obviously we've seen on the flip side, you and Lamar became very, very close.
Yes.
I think he even revealed during his exit interview that he asked you to be his sober coach. Just, were you surprised that you two bonded as much as you did, and to get to that place where he felt comfortable asking that?
I think that I wasn't surprised, because I've always wanted to talk to Lamar, always. Yeah. I didn't know how to get in touch with him. So, God set this up, orchestrated this wonderfully, put us in the same house together, and gave me, 26, 25 days to talk to him, and really get to know him. And I found out he's a very humble guy, a very good guy, but he needs somebody to work with him on getting past it, the whole sober thing and understanding how to work with it and understanding how to treat himself so he can treat other people better. It's all about, when you learn how to treat yourself well, you can treat others better, so I think that's what it's all about. And I'm very happy to be a friend of his. And you're definitely going to see a podcast from one of us, both of us, and probably hopefully a TV show.
Awesome. I would watch.
Appreciate it.
And as the show's oldest player, which you pointed out last night,
Oh, yeah.
does it feel good that you made it as far as you did and were evicted because everyone still saw you as a threat?
Oh yeah. I mean, to know that, a 56-year-old scared these 35-year-olds into thinking, because I played like I wasn't athletic, I couldn't do things, and then all of a sudden I was like, I gotcha. I can do this. Look at this. Bam. Ooh, he's good. And then all of a sudden, winning the other video, they were like, well, I didn't see this coming. Even though I was in my Teletubby costume, you see that lean in my Teletubby. So I used the belly lean. It was the belly lean out, the head out, and I got serious. And it's funny, Cynthia said, I've never seen you so serious, but when you did that lean, it was like, I'm gonna win this. And I took out in that I took out Todrick and I took out Miesha. That had to put fear into them, you know what I mean? That had to put real fear into them. That this guy is not as we thought he was, so.
And we obviously, as viewers, we did get to see that heated moment with Cynthia. There are also moments, where you got frustrated with Lamar too. Just obviously you guys all seemed good by the end. But is it so easy to kind of get on each other's nerves in that situation?
You're right there constantly, and I think for me with Cynthia, I don't think she what she didn't like was the fact that when I asked her about Teddy voting me. I said, you tried to vote me out with Teddy, and she said, well, I gave my word. I respected that. But then she didn't respect my word. So I'm like, oh, come on. You shouldn't even be upset at all over this. You should understand, okay, if Todd gave his word. But what she didn't know, I was going to vote for her to stay anyway, because that was a part of our package to keep Cynthia in there and get rid of whoever else was next to her. And then when she realized that, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, yeah, I don't know why you're getting upset. I couldn't say anything at the time because other people were around that weren't on the team that would have been listening, and that would have hurt our game, because at that point, I thought that Todrick and Miesha were really on my side. I didn't know that actually, I don't think they ever were,
Yeah.
And I helped all the stuff. I helped them get rid of their biggest threat. They couldn't do it, but I helped them do it, so.
And, last question I have for you is, your snoring in the house obviously came a running gag, especially with Chris Kattan. Did you know that was something you struggled with maybe?
Oh, yeah, I knew I snored, but what cracked about Chris Kattan, it didn't matter whether you snored or not, Chris Kattan was going to be up. It didn't matter. If you see from the late videos and streams, he got the HOH room, with Miesha gave it to him, he still was up. And then if you see it where he actually came and woke me up at 4 a.m. I don't know if you saw that. He's like, hey, Tom. I'm like, dude, really? I mean, so unfortunately, since Lamar's my good friend, I go, you gotta talk to Lamar. Lamar was not happy. Hey, stop it. He was not happy with me, doing that, but I thought it was hilariously and especially funny,
All good. Thank you so much for your time, Todd. I can't wait to see the finale. And
definitely.
Have a good one.
Thank you, you too. God bless. Bye-bye.